everyone. Now we're going to discuss about the Wade's rule. Wade's rule mainly helps to predict the structures of cluster compounds. According to Wade's rule, the rule number 1 says if the number of skeletal electrons are equals to 2n plus 2, the structure will be considered as closure. If the number of skeletal electron pairs equals to n plus 1, the structure will be closure. The first one is according to skeletal electrons. If it is 2n plus 2, closure. The second perception is if the number of skeletal electron pairs equals to n plus 1, the structure will be considered as closure, where n is number of metal centers. Rule number 2. If the number of skeletal electrons are equals to 2n plus 4, the structure will be nido. If it is according to skeletal electron pairs, if it is n plus 2, the structure will be nido, where n is same number of metal centers. The rule 3 is number of skeletal electrons are equals to 2n plus 6, the structure will be arachno. So according to skeletal electron pairs, if it is n plus 3, the structure will be arachno. So if we see the example osmium 6CO18 where the charge of the complex is -2. The principle to be followed is total electron count equals to 12 into n, where n is number of metal centers plus skeletal electrons. So first we have to calculate total electron count. So 6 metal centers are here. Valency of the osmium is 8, 48. 18 carbonyls. Each carbonyl is donating 2 electrons, so it is 36. And 2 negative charge. Each negative charge adds 1 electron plus 2 electrons. So total electron count is 86. So 86 equals to 12 into number of metal centers, 12n. Number of metal centers are 6 plus skeletal electrons. Therefore, skeletal electrons will be 14. It is equals to 2n plus 2. That means 2 into n. Number of metal centers are 6, right? So 2 into 6 plus 2, that is 14. Therefore, this structure will be considered as closure. If we consider according to skeletal electron pairs, if skeletal electrons are 14, pairs are 7, right? So the number of metal centers n is 6. Therefore, 6 plus 1 will be 7. According to skeletal electron pairs, it is n plus 1. Therefore, the structure will be closure. If we see the another example, nickel 5CO12. So the principle is total electron count equals to 12n plus skeletal electrons. So first total electron count will be 5 metal atoms, 5 into valency of the nickel 10 is 50. 12 carbonyls, 12 into 2, 24. So total electrons are 74. So total electrons equals to 12 into number of metal centers, that is 5 plus skeletal electrons. So therefore skeletal electrons will be 74 minus 60 and it is equals to 2n plus 4, where n is 5, right? 2 into 5 plus 4, that is 14. So the structure will be considered as nido. Structure of the compound will be nido. If we compare according to the skeletal electron pairs, if the skeletal electrons are 14, the pairs will be 7, right? So n is 5. 5 plus 2, 7. So the structure will be nido. If we consider the another example, osmium 4CO12 minus 6 is the charge of the complex. So total electron count will be 4. Number of metal centers are 4. 4 into valency of the osmium 8, 32. 12 carbonyls into 2 electrons 24. Charge of the complex is 6. So 6 into 1 electron plus 6 have to add, right? So 62 electrons. TEC 62 equals to 12n. 12 into number of metal centers, that is 4 plus skeletal electrons. Therefore, skeletal electrons will be 62 minus 48 will be 14. It is equals to 2n plus 6. That is 2 into number of metal centers are 4 plus 6. 14. So structure will be arachno. If we consider according to skeletal electron pairs, the number of metal centers are 4. So n plus 3 will be 7. Therefore, the structure will be arachnoid.
Incoming voice call from hubby.
So that the Wade's rule mainly consider according to skeletal electrons, or we can consider according to skeletal electron pairs.